Hey guys, welcome to the Fishing with Kyra and Steve channel. In this episode, we share with you 3 things we did this year to help us catch more fish. The very first thing we did was to try and understand structure. So we went to some seminars in the spring, been watching some YouTube videos, and a podcast that really spoke loud to me and Kyra was a podcast called Let's Talk Tackle. And the title of the podcast was Terms to Understand. Now, in this episode, he talks about all the different kinds of structure, whether it's water. I mean, he went right through it. There was 15 terms to understand about fishing. So we're going to leave the link to that podcast in our description below. So be sure and catch that. You'll enjoy that episode. It was fabulous. And it really opened our minds to understand where the fish are and where they're not. That being said, that was our first of 3 things we did to catch more fish. So the second thing we did to catch more fish is try to understand presentation. So what worked for us one day may have not worked the day after. I can remember at Lake Waterman, it was like probably an incredible day only because I was using a trick worm on a Seiko rig. And I was catching nothing for about an hour, nothing, absolutely nothing. Then I switched it up. We went to the point at Fallis where it goes from 4 feet to 20 feet in a matter of 30 feet of span. So you have to understand, I was using the trick worm at the point, but as soon as I switched over to a swim tail paddle bait, bam, I caught 8 fish in like 3 hours. Boom, 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 boom. So understanding structure, but also understanding presentation. So what may work for you yesterday may not work today. But again, what didn't work that time was my trick worm, which, you know, the trick worm, it works for everything. Like you jig it, it flops around, the fish love that. But for some reason that day, the fish weren't liking it. But as soon as I switched over to a paddle tail swim bait, they were on it like crazy. And we ended up catching 8 fish that day. Lastly, the thing that I have really kind of just zeroed in on this year is patience. And again, patience in catching fish. Now, in the old day, as soon as I got a bite, I would try and set the hook and the fish would get off. Now, this year, I'm giving it a few more seconds. I'm waiting for that fish. I'm waiting it to bite on my bait. As soon as I feel my rod go like this, and you can see it, I'm not pulling right away. I'm letting it sink the hook. Okay? What I found is if you can be patient and you can give it a few extra seconds of chewing on your lure, your trick worm, your paddle tail, you'll have a better chance of bringing that fish to the boat, to the kayak in our case, than you will if you yank on it right away. So being patient, letting the hook set, then pulling it and reeling it in. And as you reel it in, keep pressure on the line, keep pressure on the line. It'll jump in the air, keep pressure on the line, keep that hook set. You get it to the boat, get your net ready. I'll have the net in front of me instead of behind me, so that as soon as I get it to the boat, I'll bring the net out, I'll scoop it, and believe it or not, probably 3 or 4 times I've had the hook come out in the net. Okay, so that That is so important. Patience, consistency, bringing it in, putting it in the net, and you will. If you use these 3 tips, we have caught more fish. First tip being, understand structure. Second tip being, presentation. Presentation is important. If something's not working, don't stay with it all day. Move on. Move to a different fishing place. Use a different presentation. Put a fishtail paddle. Put a spoon on. Whatever. Thirdly, be patient. Let the hook set. Bam. You got yourself a fish. Consistency. Bring it into the kayak or your boat. Have the net ready. Again, 3 or 4 times we've had that hook fall off in the net. But yet, we were able to bring that fish to the boat. Well, guys, appreciate your time. Kyra and Steve are having a great summer. Summer's turning into fall. We look forward to our next venture with Fishing with Kyra and Steve, and look forward to bringing it to you. Take care, God bless, and we'll catch you again. Ciao for now.